Good morning. Welcome to the channel here. Gray cloudy day. I'm Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. And I'm trying something a little different. I have done this before, but not very often. I have my camera that's on the front of the phone recording this video. I want to see if it should make a better quality video, really, because I think there's more pixels on the front end camera than the one that I normally, a lot of times I like to use, especially when I turn it on its side to get a wide screenshot. I like using my phone screen to like that side of the camera so I can actually see what I'm doing, what it's looking like, and everything like that. But the other day when I made this comic book, yesterday the video I uploaded, I had made that entire video not realizing how when I'm using that side of the phone, unless I flip it through editing or something, then the words would be backwards. So this should be showing up right and correct at the moment, because this is going to be a Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff video. This is back to the regular scheduled programming here. Hit the thumbs up if you can. Well, I just ask if you can think about it while I'm saying it. You can do it right now. If you haven't yet subscribed and you've watched a few videos, I always say that because maybe you've watched several different things and you're enjoying it or it's helpful to you, and you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing it, and also share anywhere that you are on social media if you don't mind, if you think it might help somebody else. That's the whole point. So I think I got all that out of the way. Let's get into the thick of let's get into this here. I don't know what it's going to look like until I turn off the camera. But it's going to be number 77. And by the way, I didn't do one of these videos yesterday. I didn't make a new video at all yesterday. The video that was uploaded about Ethan Van Sciver and a little history about my comic book collecting and stuff, I did that the evening before, and yesterday I didn't feel that great. The night before, I had really just gorged out. I was a glutton, and I'd ate a lot of junk stuff that I really don't need to be eating. I've done pretty good over the past year or longer at having a better diet, but occasionally I slip up and get these cravings and stuff. And the other night there was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here from these food boxes with that's food I really don't need to be eating, processed bull crap or whatever. So hopefully I can get rid of some of this stuff to other people if they want it. But that being said, let's get into what the video is about. I just wanted to kind of update you why you didn't see a Don't Sweat the Small Stuff video yesterday or anything that is regular type content. Like most of the content here is going to be spiritually based, me talking about God, me talking or sharing something like this. Now I'll just talk about that, what's going to happen moving forward, because I have been saying this. Eventually, I wanted to get back to being at least once or twice a week, making a fun video like I uploaded yesterday. And I've already got an idea for what I'm going to talk about the next time I do a comic book type video. I'm going to be referring to a creator named Timothy Truman, who had some really awesome books back in the 80s called Scout. And he's been working on for a few years now, and I think with somebody else in his, I want to say that it's a family thing now, but I don't know of any of the actual book coming out yet, but I'm going to talk about Scout in general, and there's a new one that should come out at some point that he's been working on for a few years, and these two things I have, and it's Scout Marauder, and that storyline is supposed to be about Scout's actual son because the original character died. So I just went completely off the map here, but It's exciting to me because that video yesterday was fun to do, and I've already have an idea of kind of where I don't know when I'll do it, but I have an idea of what I want to talk about in another video that'll be fun. So I hope you stayed long enough to actually read, to hear me read the Don't Sweat Small Stuff. Acknowledge the totality of your being. That's number 77. Zorba the Great was said to have described himself as the whole catastrophe. The truth is, we're all the whole catastrophe. Only we wish that we weren't. We deny the parts of ourselves that we deem unacceptable rather than accepting the fact that we're all less than perfect. One of the reasons it's important to accept all aspects of yourself is that it allows you to be easier on yourself, more compassionate. When you act or feel insecure rather than pretending to be together, you can open to the truth and say to yourself, I'm feeling frightened and that's okay. If you're feeling a little jealous, greedy, or angry, rather than deny or bury your feelings, you can open to them, which helps you move through them quickly and grow beyond them. I agree with that. When we bury our feelings, it subjects us to maybe having more of a blowout, and maybe at the wrong time and around people we love, and we go off and, but let's get back to the reading. When you no longer think of your negative feelings as a big deal or as something to fear, you will no longer be as frightened by them. When you open to the totality of your being, you no longer have to pretend that your life is perfect or even hope that it will be. Instead, you can or even hope that it will be. Instead, you can accept yourself as you are right now. When you acknowledge the less than perfect parts of yourself, something magical begins to happen. Along with the negative, you'll also begin to notice the positive, the wonderful aspects of yourself that you may not have given yourself credit for or perhaps even been aware of. You'll notice that while you may at times act with self-interest in mind, at other times you're incredibly selfless. Sometimes you may act insecure or frightened, but most often you are courageous. While you can certainly get uptight, you can also be quite relaxed. Yeah, at any given time, I think a lot of us are that way. But I'll speak for myself mainly. Opening to the totality of your being is like saying to yourself, I may not be perfect, but I'm okay just the way I am. What negative characteristics arise, you can begin to recognize them as a part of a bigger picture. Rather than judging and evaluating yourself simply because you're human, see if you can treat yourself with loving kindness and great acceptance. You may indeed be the whole catastrophe, but you can relax about it. So are the rest of us. Yeah, there was something in here when I read this to myself I was going to make a note of, or I was hoping to think how to say it or share it, and I'm trying to remember what it was that crossed my mind. There was something, I want to say it was, well, I think earlier when I read this to myself and he says, you might say to yourself, I may not be perfect, but I'm okay just the way I am. I wasn't necessarily, I think I'd missed the part about I may not be perfect, but sometimes I made a mental note of sometimes it's good also when we have self-awareness. Sometimes we can also, like when he says, I may not be perfect, but I'm good or I'm fine just the way I am or something like that. Well, maybe sometimes in self-observation, for me anyway, sometimes I've come to the understanding that maybe sometimes I am not fine the way I am. And then if that's the case, for me, that means a lot of introspection and a lot of thought into, okay, what is it that is uncomfortable at this situation or this juncture in life? Or what is it and why do I feel like maybe I'm not completely fine the way I am? And if that's the case, then I have to decide what is it I'm doing differently that makes me not feel that like I'm fine. And, And I often do say a lot of times, I try to, in nowadays in my life, I do try to be very grateful on even bad days. But what I'm saying is maybe on the bad days, that's when I'm having to question a little bit about myself a little more. Yeah, I am fine the way I am, but there's always room and there's always areas of improvement that I can be working on. Like I mentioned in the video the other day about the carnal desires and things that I have that are struggles be outside of the realm of addiction to alcohol. What I discussed the other day was also a form of addiction, because we can find ourselves putting many other things before. When you put anything before what's most important, then that's an addictive behavior, but it's also setting up for everything else to be out of place. And I've discussed that, like what I'm working on and what's most important to me, and I will continue to say this: my personal relationship with the Creator, with Big Kahuna. So that's where I'm still working on, and that's what I'm still working on. And there's always something that I can learn. There's always something that I need to be paying attention to, especially on any given day. I gotta try to tune myself out and listen to the instructions I'm being given on any given day too. So I'm gonna end this here. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I appreciate you stopping by. Fellowship of the Clouds, we are. Until next time, Mr. Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.